Hello.
Welcome to East Coast LQ Reviews. Today I have another blended Scotch whiskey. This is John Barr Reserve Blend. It also goes by John Barr Black Label. So if you're looking for it on the internet, some spots you might find it as John Barr Black Label. So just not to confuse you guys. But I got bestshotwhiskeyreviews.com pulled up on the website. It says country Scotland. The brand is John Barr Black. Type, this is a blended Scotch whiskey. Age is an NAS or no age statement. ABV or alcohol by volume is 40% or 80 proof. And I'm going to crack this open. As you guys can tell, I already drank some out of it. I actually did take some notes down myself. I looked online a little bit of what people thought. And I kind of have my own little input as well. So let's pour this and we'll go over the color. So I got my nice Glencairn here. As you guys can see, I believe these are the new John Barr bottles. Looks a lot like Johnny Walker, especially the neck. Where you do pour, it does have like this little ring. Makes it a little bit easier when you pour. Yeah, so let's go over the color. So the color is definitely pretty dark. It's going towards kind of a bourbon color. But it is a mahogany, you could say, which is a reddish brown color. So it is kind of reddish brown. Has a nice dark tint to it, but it's not completely dark. Kind of has like a little bit of a golden color to it as well. But let's go for the nose. The nose on this, I'm definitely picking up like a light peat. With this, I definitely kind of pick up a strong vanilla. I wrote down vanilla cake icing. So also, I'm getting a little bit of apples, so like some orchard fruits. Like I said, that light peat, a little bit of smoke. Kind of a caramel, toffee, butterscotch sweetness to it. Getting like a light alcohol smell to it, so it does have a little bit of an alcohol smell. Picking up a little bit of like peppery spices. Also picking up a little bit of that barrel characteristics. Kind of getting some oak and wood. And that goes along with that vanilla. Definitely get the strong vanilla. Getting a little bit of like the honey sweetness along with that caramel, butterscotch, and toffee. Also picking up a little bit of cereal grains. Excuse me, my power on my phone's dying a little bit. And I'm also picking up a little bit of sea salt. So the nose on this, it says there are no unpleasant off notes, but there's not much to discover as well. A very basic combination of wood, spices, mainly pepper, cereals, light peat smoke, caramel, nuts, honey, alcohol, and hints of sherry and green apples. So yeah, I do get those apples on the nose. I like kind of when I get those orchard fruits in my scotch. That's kind of what I'm usually looking for in the aroma. If it has like a nice orchard fruit, that kind of appeals to me the most. But the palate, it says smooth, sweet, and uneventful with caramel, butterscotch, malt, grains, honey, wood, nougat, pepper, and a bit of sherry. So let's go for the taste. So on the taste, right up front, I'm picking up definitely that sea salt. So I'm kind of getting the sea salt that I was getting with the Johnny Walker Blenders batch, that the number 3 Blenders batch. So I'm picking up kind of the same sea salt kind of taste. Picking up some spices, kind of like a peppery spice. Not really a cinnamon spice, but more of like a peppery spice. Definitely picking up some malt, a little bit of smoke. And I'm also getting like a nice caramel, butterscotch, toffee sweetness on the palate. Picking up a little bit of that honey sweetness as well. Getting a little bit of like a cereal grain. So this is pretty familiar with the it's pretty similar, excuse me, with the Artist Blend by Compass Box. So I'm picking up a lot of same flavors that I was getting from the Compass Box Artist Blend. Picking up a little bit of wood, and I'm also getting those nice orchard fruits. So I'm kind of getting like apples and pears. And on the website it says finish short with caramel, butterscotch toffee, oak, vanilla, licorice, and pepper. So let's go for another taste. So the finish is definitely short, but you do get a nice lingering peppery spice to it. But the finish, I wrote down, it goes sweet to barrel to spice. And with that, I kind of get like a short toffee sweetness. And then it fades to kind of like your barrel characteristics, kind of like oak and wood. A little bit of vanilla. And then finally, it finishes off with that peppery spice finish. Pretty good. In my opinion, it's a little spicy. I could do without the spicy and maybe a little bit more of the orchard fruits and a little bit more of the malt. But yeah, this is just a pretty decent blended Scotch whiskey for the price. I'm going to add some water. This guy says with some water added, extra fruity tones, apple and pear appear on the nose. Although palate and finish are watered down slightly, the John Barr Black Label does accept a couple of drops. Just try it out. So I'm going to put like 4 drops of water without spilling it. With the water, I do picking up a little bit more malt, a little bit more sea salt, and I'm definitely picking up a little bit more of the apples, which is that orchard fruit. On the taste, so with some water, the orchard fruits, the malt, kind of that cereal grain, definitely intensifies, and it actually gets rid of some of that peppery spice. So with the water, I actually like it a little bit more, so a couple of drops of water goes a long way with this one. Price on this blended Scotch whiskey is around $22 to $24, so this is a value brand blended Scotch. So for a rating, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, and that's because the price is great. If you're somebody who's just getting into Scotch or maybe blended Scotch, and maybe you're kind of afraid of peat or smoke, this is definitely something to try out. It's definitely not too overly peaty. It doesn't really have much of an earthy taste. It has more of that kind of smoke peat to it. But in my opinion, it's a little overly spicy, so I'm going to knock down the rating on that just a little bit. Like I said, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. And for a recommendation, yeah, I do recommend it, like I said. If you're somebody who's just getting into blended Scotch, and maybe you're a little scared of trying out the peat, this is something to kind of work you towards it, but not too overpowering to kind of scare you too much to where you wouldn't want to buy blended Scotch anymore. But this is definitely a great starter blended Scotch. It is an NAS. I would like to know how long this is aged for. Maybe somebody knows. If anybody wants to leave a comment below. But yeah, this is definitely a great, decent blended Scotch whiskey. Picking up a lot of vanilla and orchard fruits. I like when I get that heavy malt. Like I said, I wish the malt was a little stronger. Maybe I'd pick up a little bit more cereal grains and was less of that peppery spice. But overall, it definitely is a decent Scotch. So this guy gave it a 77 rating. And then there's some information about John Barr Distillery or whatever it is. But yeah, there you have it. If there's any other blended Scotches that you guys like to see on my channel, or maybe any other liquor beers you guys like to see on my channel, definitely leave a comment below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for my upcoming videos on liquor and beer. Thanks for watching. Cheers.